welcome to another episode of Wreckless on Wrestling.
Wow, you're on the second one. You're here because Rebel works too much, so we can't get him on the show.
We could call our show Wow. Welcome to Wow. Not the game.
So Rebel should be on this then.
Wow.
So this is a show where we do either reviews or miscellaneous wrestling knowledge for wrestling fans out there. Today is special edition. We're not going to be reviewing anything, although TNA has been just terrible lately. But we're going to be going over our favorite wrestling matches of all time. Each of us will pick our favorite. So we'll let you go first. What's your favorite wrestling match of all time?
All right, insult me, everyone. King of the Ring, 1994, Owen Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid.
Which I've never seen.
Love that match. I remember seen this match like 5 years ago, but it was really hard being a kid. I was like only 10 years old when that match happened. But it was one of I would say the first matches that really had that fast pace, high action wrestling. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There was no really.
Wouldn't that have been like Macho Man versus like Ricky Steamboat? Though?
Yeah, but
most people say that's like the first big time.
I mean, they would say the big time match, but they did a lot of rest holds, a lot of base. These guys, like if you saw the beginning of this match, that baseball drop kick was amazing. That was, dude. I mean, the match was just crazy. I liked it.
All right. What was it? You said it was the semifinals of the King of the Ring?
It was the semifinals.
Isn't that the King of the Ring where Owen won the whole thing?
Yes.
Or was that where Brett won it?
No, because Brett won it first, then Owen
won it, or Brett won it back to back though. He won it the first 2 years.
Was it 92?
I think it was 93 and 94, if that's correct. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I know Brett's the only person to do back to back King of the Ring.
Because King Mabel won 95, right?
I think Owen won after that.
Was it 94 that King Mabel won?
I don't know. Who gives a about King Mabel? He's
Yes,
awful.
sir.
So now my favorite pick is actually on a lot of people's favorite list because it's one of the matches that really stands out to me. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wow, the light just like blinked weird.
It did.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock at WrestleMania 17. Essentially, they already had one match at 15, and it just, it was like. It was good. Their first encounter at WrestleMania was good. It just wasn't great because Rock wasn't really established yet. Austin was on his whole McMahon versus Austin thing going on.
Yeah.
It was more of a payoff towards that than it was having the two biggest guys in the company. I just remember that WrestleMania in general had an awesome TLC match. It had Angle versus the Murderer. It just had, it was a great show. It also had Triple H being chokeslammed onto a bed. That was terrible.
Who did wrestle on that one?
Undertaker. It was a really good match. That part was stupid. But I'd say, though, the best thing about that was the Austin heel turn. A lot of people didn't like that. I loved that because, to me, Austin had kind of started to feel stale since he'd come back from his injury. And Rock was already stale to me. Rock was just the generic good guy, and I didn't like that. To see Austin do something different, though, was great. And then, unfortunately, Rock left. Like literally the next day after Raw, he left to go do his Hollywood thing with the Scorpion King, and he just kind of vanished. But
wasn't that where when Stone Cold turned heel, that WWE stocks dropped?
No, their stocks dropped when they did the Invasion angle, and it was a complete and utter failure because they didn't bring in any of the big WCW names, and they could have. They could have. Oh, I know. Buff Bagwell and Booker T. Were established big guys. The story on that is that apparently they could have brought in Goldberg, Hogan, Flair, Nash, Hall. Sting, Steiner, all those guys, all of the WCW big guys at the time. But the problem is that they would have to buy out their contracts, and it would have cost them. They would have lost basically when they did the math. Dave Meltzer had said something along the lines of they would have lost like a full pay-per-view's revenue, like that Invasion pay-per-view that they did. All that money they gained, they would have broke even or even lost money off it. But think about that. If they had went down the road with SummerSlam, all the miscellaneous pay-per-views, you imagine they could have done Stone Cold Goldberg, they could have done the Outsiders versus DX, they could have done, they could have done all kinds of stuff.
Maybe they just wanted to spur it apart because if you introduce all these wrestlers at the same time, I think it just kind of kills the feeling of seeing
they couldn't really do DX because Michaels wasn't back then.
Because
but he came back shortly.
I mean, look at this. I mean, we had to separate. We saw Goldberg. Was it after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw?
They separated them out, but they were all name one of them that mattered. The only guy that really had an impact was Hogan when he fought Rock. But
No Way Out.
But that was only for Mania. I remember when they put the belt on Hogan after that for Backlash and Judgment Day when he lost it to Taker. That their ratings plummeted because nobody wanted to see Hogan as champion. No. So all these Steiners thing failed. Nash's was pretty damn awful too.
I would say Booker T was a more successful one.
No, he wasn't. He just was there to job to The Rock at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at, how long he stayed and how many belts.
Well, yeah, because they turned him into a WWE guy.
I mean, the feud with Stone Cold was pretty funny.
You can't tell me that it was a good idea not to bring in the WCW guys at that point. They could have had. Think of the matches they could have had. They had Rock, Triple H, and Austin all set up to eventually have feuds, and Undertaker with Sting, Flair, Hogan, Goldberg, all these things that people always want to see, and they never really happened, or they happened down the line when nobody cared anymore. How hot would that angle have been?
I mean, I think it was pretty cool. I like Scott Steiner's entry. Was it Survivor Series, right?
Well, he wouldn't have been a main event player.
No, but I think it was us to see him like debut. I would hate to see him all at the same time debut, but having like seeing Goldberg.
I gotta say you're a moron on this.
No, and then
why is seeing them individually down the road and it's less impactful?
It's
when
more
you know
surprising for the audience.
If they had
they're a profitable company, Matt. We just
No, they lost tons of money on it. They even went on record. Vince went on and said that it was a mistake, but it's something he had to do because he couldn't. The boys were mad. Like Rock, Austin, Triple H, all those guys didn't want to lose money due to the fact that they were going to be bringing in all these guys and paying them millions of dollars to wrestle. They didn't want that, so that's why they didn't do it. They said their locker room would have been in hell.
Exactly. So
who cares?
Who cares? We won't have WWE anymore. Stupid.
It's okay. No, that's not true. That's not true. God damn it, that's so not true.
If you
in 01, 02 was like their lowest point ever, and yet they still survived. When Booker T was main eventing, and it was like at an all-time low.
I think the Radicals had more of an impact than that whole WCW invasion.
Yeah, because it sucked.
Okay, Eddie Guerrero.
This is turned into it. I don't think you actually believe this. You're just
that's just because it's better to bring everybody in individually.
No, it's not.
I mean, like if they're like Conan or Billy Kidman, I don't want to see Goldberg and Sting all be at the same day, same time.
Oh my God, you're a moron. You're a moron. One at a time though. They made no impact. They made nothing. Name one of those WCW guys that they debuted by themselves that made an impact.
Scott Steiner.
He didn't. He sucked.
Because of Triple H.
He fought Triple H twice, and it was, if you can't, I don't care
Triple H politics.
I don't care what Steiner says on camera, because he's gone on like shoot interviews and said that, Triple H just didn't want to have a good match. Bullshit. Triple H wants to make money. If Triple H can make money with you, he'll at least have a good match with you. I'd say after the match is good, then he can bury the shit out of you by just not letting you do anything. But he had 2 matches with Steiner where he gave Steiner tons of time to do things, and Steiner sucked ass. One match, he couldn't even flip him into a power bomb. He fell on his ass. The other match, his purple thong popped out.
That's all right. That's part of Scott Steiner.
No.
All right, that's Scott Steiner.
Think about how awesome it would have been. Say the scenario is we got Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, and one other miscellaneous, like Triple H, Kurt Angle, whatever. You've got your tag match, right? Tag match. And then it's on Raw. It's main event. There's been no mention of WCW, no nothing. All of a sudden, you have Hogan, Hall, Goldberg, like Nash, Sting, whatever. You have all the WCW main event guys come running. Pay attention to me. Come running in and beat the crap out of all the WWE, WWF main event guys. How awesome would that have been? That would have been like one of the most historic things you could have possibly done.
That's bad business right there.
No, okay. Yeah, you're an idiot.
I'm not an idiot.
Yes, you are. How is that bad business?
It's bad business. It's a company. Yeah, it's not there to make dreams for you. It's there to make money.
Dream matches equal money.
Yeah, but that would not profit. Just having several make.
So you're saying you preferred seeing The Rock versus Booker T and Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle, 2 WWF guys, versus the possibility of Stone Cold versus Goldberg, Hogan versus Rock, or even like the Outsiders versus Undertaker and some seriously. You preferred the stupid shitty matches that everybody says is their lowest point they ever had.
Why would I want to see Undertaker and Diesel again? I don't want to see that. And freaking seeing watching The Rock and Booker T, they both have he has a rock bottom and a bookend.
That match they had against one another was terrible. It was Rock beating the shit out of Rock Light the entire match. I remember I hated it.
Booker T had to carry The Rock throughout that match.
Okay, so officially Chris is tapped out. He loses because now he's just resorting to stupid.
No, it's not stupid.
It is stupid. You can't tell me they could have dragged the invasion angle from invasion to WrestleMania. Back to my favorite match. The reason why I liked it so much is the heel turn was very clever. I never saw it coming. They didn't. Usually when you see a heel turn nowadays in wrestling, you will see signs of it, or at least a setup or something. They were very clever in just keeping it completely secret, and I liked it. It did kind of kill the momentum of the match because the match was really, really hot and not sexy. I mean, hot as in wrestling terms. The crowd was going nuts for Austin. They hated Rock. This is kind of why I think, for the opposite reason, why Cena and Rock is going to be so good in Miami next year, because they're going to be all over the Rock in terms of cheering, and Cena's just going to be, he's going to be the new Rock. So it's going to be really good. But The finish was great. I loved Austin just being vicious and beating the crap out of Rock with the chair. And then when he hit the stunner, just their celebration and shaking Vince's hand. I like that he was so over in that match with the Texas crowd. Even shaking hands with Vince McMahon himself in the middle of the ring, they didn't care. They were still just like, "You are the best, Austin. We love you," because it's his hometown. All right, so I kind of chopped up this video because Chris and I went on an epic 20-minute rant where he was wrong and I was right.
I won. I was right.
So thank you for joining us once again for another edition of We on Wrestling.
I am right all the time. That's right.